What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. OnyxCoin is sitting here at about $0.00858 right now. We got 3 days and 10 and a half hours left in this week. We are at the base of this area here, and I personally don't believe in 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't believe in quadruple bottoms. I don't think they're a thing. It is possible that this is, higher lows still. I mean, that low technically is a higher low still, so it is possible that we hold this area up, but I would think just looking at this here, zooming out, it looks like 4 bottoms, which makes me think we go a little bit lower. We'll probably see a break of this range to the downside, but that doesn't mean that Onyx coin is in jeopardy. I think that we're fine. If we look at this on the 1 hour time frame, Bitcoin's moving down, the rest of crypto's moving down. If XCN was alone in this, I might be a little bit more worried. But the fact that we're kind of all in the slums together right now, I think that that's okay. Unless you're degenning in the meme coin markets, those things are popping off here and there. Looking at the 1 hour RSI, we are at the oversold zone, the same areas that we typically do bounce from. To be completely fair, we've been ranging between the overbought zone and the oversold zone, so we are in an area to find support there. Stochastics look like they're at an area to find support as well, and the MACD is building bearish momentum, which would make me think that we go lower. Let's be fair, even though you could find support here, you absolutely could go lower, and I don't think that that would be a problem. Looking at this on the 4 hour time frame, the 4 hour RSI looks very sad. But again, we are at areas that we like to bounce typically a little bit above where we are now or a little bit below. So in that area nonetheless. If we were to go lower, I would actually like it if we did just go a little bit lower, because I feel like this is a quadruple bottom. I feel like that's what it looks like to me. And because of that, I'd like to see a notable low. If we had a lower low, something that was decisive, it was a fake out, and then we came back up, I think that would look really good. What we're looking for if we do break below these lows, what we're looking for if that happens is a very nice reaction afterwards. We want it to be something like this, like a V-shaped recovery in essence, or something that's quick and takes us back up, right? These aren't big moves. Going from here to here, this isn't a big move. But if that happens, I think that'd be very nice to see, just to validate that there is a lack of selling pressure or a dominance in buying pressure at the very least. The 4 hour stochastics do look bearish at the moment, and the MACD just crossed below the zero, man. This is the first time this has led me astray in like 2 weeks, where maybe in about a week, where we crossed above the zero on the MACD, we consolidated, we were supposed to break out. What happened? What happened? What happened was we got the good news yesterday of the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates, quantitative tightening coming to an end in December, and today President Trump and Xi made a good trade deal, I guess, is positive, right? Things went over well. That's what happened. We got the good news, so now we're selling the event. Unfortunately, this led us astray. Typically, this doesn't. I want to say this is like the first out of like 6 or 7 different examples we've had over the past week and a half now that didn't work out, which is pretty sad, because typically what happens after this is you get a nice move up, a nice move relative to this here. Something that might have taken us up to 1.2 cents or beyond, which from the current prices or even from the high prices, it's like a 34% pump. That would have been nice. But oh well. Would have, could have, should have, didn't happen anyways. I still think that the 4 hour MACD is pretty useless here. Honestly, the fact that we've crossed below the zero is sad, but I don't think that it means too much, because we've just been moving sideways. Whenever you move sideways, the MACD is a lot less reliable. So are the stochastics. But to be fair, everything does look bearish, and if we were to continue moving lower, I wouldn't be too surprised by that. Let's see. Zooming out on the daily time frame here. I want to take this pivot from a low to a high and just see where we are. We're right below the golden ratio, kind of an odd area. If we were to break out of this to the downside, I think the lowest we'd expect would be 7.9 to 7.5 cents, right? Something in that area there, right in tandem with our low from over here. I think it makes sense, right? If we were to go lower, that would be the area that I think that we'd find support at the lowest, right? And that's about a 7% to a 12% drop from the current price. So that should be it. That really should be it. And then we should be moving up higher afterwards, guys. The daily RSI still in this low area that we typically find ourselves in whenever we are at low areas in the price as well, right? Whenever we had our low here, we were at the same area in the RSI. We were at our low here, we were at the same area. And when we had our low back here, we were at the same area as well. Typically, we do hang out here for a little bit, it looks like, right? And we've been hanging out here for a little bit so far. I can't imagine that we'll be here for too much longer. But again, it is the end of the month. We have projected that the beginning of November might be a little bit of a sell-off, and then we come up. I just thought that we might have a little bit more of a pump going into the end of October, so that this sell-off would provide higher lows, not lower lows. But we'll see how it goes. Ultimately, I very much am bullish on OnyxCoin. some people are putting posts on X.com or replying to my posts, I should say, and they're saying, why don't you talk about OnyxCoin anymore? I don't know if you guys are just trolling, just messing around, because I talk about OnyxCoin every single day, but you know, there are people who seem to be confused. I don't know. I talk about it every single day. So if you're watching this and you're one of those people posting, either you got me, you're trolling, you got me, and I fell for it, or number two, you're just not seeing the videos that I'm posting out every day, which is kind of odd. But I do post OnyxCoin videos almost every single day, literally every single day. I think for months now, man. I mean, for like half a year now. It's been we were doing two a day at once, but I'm still talking about it every day because I do think this is one of the best projects to get into as far as crypto goes. I think that once it's all said and done by the end of this cycle, this will be one of those coins that people talk about that had a multi-100x, that had 1,000x potential if you bought the right low. Like what we're talking about here, you guys. You know, maybe a lot of you wouldn't have been aware of OnyxCoin down here because who would invest in it, right? It's at the end of a downtrend here. Massive downtrend, who would invest in it? But after it gets some interest again, after you see a nice little, let's see, from a low to a high, you see something on the lines of a 6x. Okay, that might promote some interest. Let's say you bought the high, which I doubt most people did. I would expect most people who bought in this time, they probably bought anywhere but the high. But let's say you bought the high. From the high, let alone if you were at a lower price, if this thing does what I think it's going to do, we go just below $2, that's a 400 and something X. I'm just saying OnyxCoin is going to be remembered as one of those coins going into the end of the cycle that people had life-changing wealth capabilities with. And from there, from the highest point, it was 400X, let alone from the lowest point. Would have been like, dude, that's crazy. That's like a multi-1,000X move. But it's got it in it because this here, I think this is very validating to the idea that there was mass accumulation going on here. We're shaking out the weak hands because you made a lot of fun money in a very short amount of time. We're shaking out the weak hands, just like we did back here. And then when we move up to these intended target areas from here, that's still, I mean, that's still a 200 and something X right there, right? It might not be a 400X overall if you bought the top, but it's still a 200X from here. I mean, there's immense potential with this, and time will show. Time will definitely show. But as we finish up this video here, from a high to a low, the expectation would be that we do see a 26 to 32 cent price. That is the expectation. That's been the long anticipated expectation, that when we break out here, we'll go just above our all-time highs. We will probably consolidate in this area and then continue, finish our cycle off all the way up at this $2.60 to $1.03 area, something in that zone there, over the coming months. So I've got nothing else. Thank you all for being here. OnyxCoin is moving sideways. If this video was not really revealing, well, I'm sorry for that. But I mean, the only thing I think that as far as price action goes to really consider is that we've grinded out this area. We likely do go lower, and the intended target area would be something akin to what we found on our low here. We're really not that far away. 7 to 12% drop, something like that, right? It's not going to be that intense, and then we should be moving up higher. Key areas to watch whenever we do move up higher, key areas to watch as far as breaking out goes, would be about 1 cent itself. Is that right? That is 1 cent right there. We're on a daily time frame. Yes, 1 cent itself. And then here, found support and we found resistance here. 1.3 cents as well. And then ultimately, I think this one will be a good barrier to break through, is 1.7 cents. Whenever we get above 1.7 cents, really when we get above about 1.3 cents, we're breaking out of this downward sloping trend. But I think once we're above 1.7 cents, nothing's going to hold us back. We're going to break out and we're going to see 8 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents, 27 cents beyond that over the coming weeks and over the coming months. But I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Buy the dip while you can. This is not going to be a long-lived experience down here. We've been moving sideways now with OnyxCoin for over 2 weeks. We don't typically see this long of a period where we're just moving sideways and being boring. Something's going to happen here pretty soon. I'm thinking we're going to get a downside move and then an immediate recovery up. We're looking for something that does take us above 1 cent. We want to break that first seal, want to break through the 1 cent barrier. Then we're looking for 1.3 cents, then ultimately 1.7 cents, and we're home free. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.